Okay, so now, after a lot of practice with multiplying smaller numbers, single-digit numbers with multiple zeros times each other, we're ready for double-digit, triple-digit, and more. So I'm going to start with a problem 68 times 45. Now the limitation of this material is you cannot do double digits. So I can do 34 times 24, but I cannot do 33 times 44. I cannot have the same digit in one of my factors. But luckily there's 9 digits, so we can multiply up to 9 digits. Plus we can add some zeros in there if needed. So here's my number. I've written it down. And that means I'm going to get my first number. So 45. Here's my 45. And I'm going to get my 68. Here is my 68. Now I can either do my numbers at the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter, but I do need to get my zeros. So 68, when you decompose it, is made up of 60 and 8. And 40, 45, when I decompose it, is made up of 40 times 5. So I can either, when I make a box with my numbers to multiply, I can either do them down here as the checkerboard, or I can do them up top like a multiplication problem. Either one, it will be arranged in the same way. So let's just try it going at the bottom, checkerboard style. So 68 and 45. Well, the first thing that I need is 8 times 5, which is going to be right here. And here is my 8 times 5. Now the next thing that I need is I'm looking for 6 times 5, and that's going to be right here. And I can kind of see where to go based on my empty placeholders. Then my next number that I need is 4 times 8. So I'm going to go to the 4, and then here's the 8. And then the next one that I need is my 4 times 6, which is going to be right here. Now, a lot of children might not need these extra things. You could probably simply do it on paper at this point. And that's okay too, but you can put the answers on there and then add the number of zeros. So I do 5 times 8 is 40, and then I remember my trick with the zeros, so 5 times 6 is 30, plus there's a 0 here, so that becomes 300. 8 times 4 is 32 and a 0, and 6 times 4 is 24, and I add 2 zeros. So after I do that, I'm going to put it under my original problem, making sure that my categories are lined up, and then I have my answer. I just realized that this should be a 0 here. Okay, so that's how you can do multiple problems. And if I wanted to make this an even bigger problem, like let's say 968, well then I'm going to take this to put my 900 here, and then 900 times 5, which I'm going to find right here, and 900 times 4, which I'm going to find right there. So I can keep expanding this as much as I want, and then I'm also teaching the children how to do it on paper. My goal is to eventually get to the point where they understand the concept of place value and why we add the zeros when we are multiplying powers of 10. And place value, decomposing numbers, all of these things. Plus, a lot of these children that at least come to my classroom, they do not even have their multiplication facts memorized. And so this gives them a visual for doing that.